What are some harsh truths about love and attraction? Closure doesn't make feelings disappear. There will never be 100% closure. But a in-person break-off is still miles better than over the phone. On text. From 500 Days of Summer. Just because she likes the same bizarro crap you do doesn't mean she's your soulmate. Same interests are a compatibility. When I saw this as a young tween girl, my friends all thought poor Tom. Summer is such a bitch. Because. Come on. They obviously belonged together. She led him on. And I remember arguing with them. From the beginning. She said she wasn't looking for anything serious. That she didn't believe in love. And didn't want a boyfriend. I rewatched it when I was older and was so proud of young me for spotting that. I didn't pick up on all the subtleties of him idolizing her. And him thinking that once they were together she would change her mind. I didn't realize how much of an issue this is with people who think, once they date me, they'll see how amazing I am and want to be with me forever. Or how often you can be completely honest with someone and they will just choose not to hear you. You'll always have doubts. It's inevitable. They say you can never truly know another person and what goes on in their minds. Even if you literally spend a lifetime with them. There is no perfect person for you. There is only someone who you can handle the flaws they have. Thank God there's not a perfect person out there for me. I'd never find them with all the billions of people in the world. Better to be able to find someone whose flaws you love as much as the rest of them and enjoy the ride together. Just because you love someone, there's absolutely no guarantee they'll ever love you back. On the same note, just because you like someone or see a future with them doesn't mean they see it the same way. Your partner isn't obligated to find you sexy by default just because you are with them. You could become a lazy fat slob. Smelly. Change your hairstyle. Anything. They could still love you. But be turned off physically by you. For better or worse. Richer or poorer. In sickness or in health never happens how you planned life. Love is a daily decision to make your relationship more important than all the things that suck about life. This is so true. If you don't actively work on nurturing your relationship with your spouse it'll end. This means maintaining and building your friendship. Keeping the romance and fun and sex going and staying healthy. Interesting and active. I also truly believe that you always need to be working towards a goal together and supporting each other's dreams. From big things like purchasing a house and saving up for a holiday to little things like taking dance lessons or gaming together. It isn't always easy. You'll get on each other's nerves. The sound of their voice will, at times, be the most obnoxious thing in the world. But you have to choose to work through it and make things better if you want a relationship to last. No matter how intelligent or rational you are usually, it all goes out the window once you are attracted enough to someone. You will behave in irrational and downright stupid ways. Do things you can't explain. And afterwards wonder what the hell you were thinking. Love doesn't mean that you will always agree with each other and will never have an argument. And an argument does not mean it's a bad relationship. It depends on how they react to the argument. Do they talk through it calmly and try to find a solution? Or do they yell at each other until one of them leaves? From my experience, breaking up is always harder than I thought it would be. Edit. It doesn't hurt so bad anymore. Maybe it's 5-day increments. Especially when there's not a super concrete reason for the breakup. Oh, you threw a toaster at my head? Easy breakup. You're slowly ripping my soul out and you're incredibly boring to be around and I have a mild panic attack every time I see I got a text from you? Hard breakup. Your partner is going to be attracted to other people but as long as she respects you. You don't have to feel intimidated by this. Had a girl break up with me because I'm bi and was worried I was checking out guys and it made her uncomfortable. She was looking at girls constantly telling me how hot they were and I'd just agree lol. Love is a choice you make every day. Don't follow the butterflies. Those will come and go. Find someone who you think will make a dependable and honest partner. Oh. And if you see crazy coming, cross the street. I don't care how hot they are or how good the sex is. I am saving you heartache. Listen to me and learn from my pain. And I don't care who you are. You know when someone is not good for you. Listen to your gut. Never chase after someone. If they don't actively like and show interest in you, you cannot make them. No scheme, strategy or gesture will make them want you, and you cannot change yourself to make them want you. Fortunately, you really, truly don't want to be with someone who doesn't like you just the way you are. Unfortunately, this truth is impossible to believe or fully understand until you have met someone who likes you just the way you are. And that's how dating apps, expensive clothing brands, diet companies, and beauty supply stores stay in business. There is always one partner that loves more. A good relationship is when you both strive to be that one. Hard pill for me to swallow tonight. If it's not an enthusiastic hell yes, then it's a no. And I don't mean that just in a sexual way. Obviously, if someone isn't excited about sexy times, then you absolutely need to stop. If someone says they want to hang out and blow you off for several hours, then it's a no. To add on to this, the person telling you I'm just not ready for a relationship is letting you down gently. There will never be anything romantic between you two if there isn't something right then and there. No matter how hectic someone's life is, if they feel they met the right person, they will make time and way for a relationship. The saddest thing in a relationship that isn't outwardly awful abusive is when someone dates another person because that person likes them. It's like telling yourself that you aren't good enough, so let's settle for this person. I've seen a lot of ruined friendships because one person mistook the attraction of being loved with actually being in love. You'll probably not find that 10/10 significant other. I could make a whole list for a perfect girl, but realistically, she's maybe not out there. You don't know if she wants to be with you for the rest of your life. That's the scariest thing to me about love. 1. You are usually attracted by someone different from you. That feels new and exotic. But it's usually easier to respect, and thus love, someone who is more akin to you. 2. Attraction comes and goes. But routine is the enemy number 1. In long-term relationships and in marriage, you need to actively swim against the current of routine. You will only bring yourself to do it if you love your partner and yourself. Because it's a constant struggle. You might fall in love with a person that you are not attracted to. You might forgive 1,000 shortcomings of a person you are attracted to. Both suck and both are great for their own reasons. Throw an age, or where you're at in life, and both are going to suck eventually. Most attractive PPL are genuinely kind and charismatic. Turns out the full package does exist. Those who pretend that looks and personality must always be completely opposed to one another are shallow and bitter. The question shouldn't be how do I find someone who fulfills all of my expectations? But rather how do I find someone compatible with me? Incompatible PPL can have the perfect looks and perfect character traits, but if they don't match with your needs and plans, they aren't right for you. Love is all you need. Is a crock of shit. Love is important in a relationship. But people can love each other very much and make each other absolutely miserable. There's more to relationships than a feeling. Well, when the Beatles said it, they weren't referring to romantic love. More the general sense of acceptance, tolerance, appreciation and empathy for all things, which is not just bullshit. Best case scenario. You both die at exactly the same time. Normal scenario. One of you dies first, leaving the other alone and heartbroken. Worst case scenario. You split, leaving one or both of you heartbroken. It's a classic lose-lose-lose situation. You may find physical chemistry with someone who isn't aesthetically your type. It may be the best physical chemistry you've ever had. But your brain may not let you be comfortable with it. You may feel compelled to seek out your type, only to experience something less intense. Or you may never deviate from your type for social or nebulous self-worth issues, and never experience that chemistry. FCK. It's complicated. Sometimes I think the hardest part of being hypersexual is finding out chemistry comes in different forms. That they still very much could still have leftover feelings for their ex while currently dating you. They can overcome their feelings and never act on them, but it can still be present in a relationship. It's all just chemicals rewarding a process that we see in the abstract because of domestication. I'm not special and neither are you. There are no guarantees. Promises don't really mean anything to most people. You can have a magnificent connection with someone, but that doesn't mean they want you. And it takes vulnerability to really love someone. 1. Looks do matter. They're not the only thing that matters. But people who say looks don't matter are either liars or fools or trying to soothe your feelings. 2. Some of us will never find love. 3. Some of us are not capable of love. I wish more people would understand that second one and stop telling others cliche things like you'll find someone eventually, or just be yourself and eventually someone will love you. The unfortunate truth is that some people will never experience a romantic relationship. So people should stop trying to get others' hopes up and make them think that they are destined to find love at some point in their lifetime. No matter how much you love someone, how much you have in common, no matter how perfect you think you are for each other, none of that matters if they don't feel the same way. There is no perfect combination of words or actions that can sway them if they are not interested. Often trying too hard only makes you seem desperate and undesirable. If you don't learn to take no for an answer, you're only going to destroy your friendship. Sorry, Tim. Love, or more to the point, being in love, is a chemical reaction in the brain that can last up to 2 years. This is why at the start of a relationship you find things your partner does cute and quirky, but once the chemical reaction in your brain subsides they become extremely irritating and annoying to put up with and can be a major contributor to why a marriage breaks down. I went out with a girl once who broke up with me by saying I love you but I am not in love with you. At the time it pissed me off as I thought, what does that even mean, but I have come to understand what it means over time. Love doesn't come from attraction. Attraction disguises itself as love. But real love is unconditional and it's either felt or not. No amount of compromise will save a relationship built solely on attraction. Love is either there or not there. Don't lie to yourself just because you are attracted. Love has no boundaries. Physical, emotional, political, anything. Real love consists of infinite compassion, forgiveness, and understanding. How you love your dog even though it pisses on the rig. How you love your child, and no amount of bad deeds will affect that love. Love is something that transcends space and time. You don't see the thing you love as something that can do wrong. You see that for what it is. Beautiful and imperfect like all things on this planet. Fundamentally flawed in the most beautiful ways. Love is truth. Truth is love. Lies break connections. Connections are love. Ditch your expectations. Sounds fatalistic. But I mean it like. Don't expect your partner to become someone else for you. But cherish who they are. Love isn't a fairy tale. I mean, two people can love each other dearly. But that doesn't automatically mean everything works out. Love ain't enough on its own. It takes work. Real work for that, and sometimes, even while still feeling love for each other. And with both parties trying their hardest, it just doesn't work sometimes. On the flip side, in cases like that, it's never a waste of time. I think most, maybe not all, relationships have something you gain from them in the end. Marrying for love has proven far less effective than planned marriages. Probably because many people who marry for love don't realize that love is more than feelings of infatuation. Sometimes love is a choice. Like when your wife has had a long day so you do the dishes for her. Or you feed your baby so she can sleep. Or when you hold your tongue in an argument so you don't say something hurtful. Too often we equate love with these Hollywood-esque emotions and don't realize that love is often hard work. The quirky parts of someone's personality that make you fall in love with them are often the reasons you fall out of love with them. As people grow and you are around them more, the quirks will often become, or seem to become, more exaggerated. So they will start to annoy you. Before long, the thing you loved them for, you will dislike them for. The 80/20 rule of online dating. Single moms of baggage. Money helps if you're ugly, but not by much and in direct proportion to said ugliness. Never be anyone's silver medal. You can get away with being a psychopathic sadist as long as you're good looking. There is little to no incentive to getting married anymore. OnlyFans and the federal government has replaced long-term relationships. People can try as hard as they can, but if there's any preconceived bad notion of what you are, especially with people who have known of you for quite some time, there's no chance. But it's not that much of a bad thing. It's just a lesson reality check. You are probably not going to have a good relationship if you don't have compatible politics and religion. There are exceptions to this rule as there are to most every rule. But you are stacking the odds against you if you go for someone who has a totally different view of the world than you. Politics cannot be so easily set aside. For example, take a disagreement about abortion. From the pro-choice perspective, your partner has no respect for bodily autonomy and values a fetus that doesn't think, feel, or experience anything over the freedom and well-being of a person. From the pro-life perspective, your partner has no problem with killing babies. Either way, that's a hard pill to swallow. Or consider a scenario in which one person is a capitalist and the other is a socialist. Each person ends up thinking the other supports an ideology that causes great suffering and kills people. That's not so easy to set aside. Religious disputes are even worse. And if there are kids involved, oh boy, you're fighting over your child's mind. And perhaps the fate of their eternal soul. This is my personal view on harsh truths about love and attraction. Love can fade if the person changes and becomes something different to what they were. Trauma, alcohol, drugs, mental health and illness can change your feelings toward people. But for some people it deepens and strengthens their resolve to love that person even harder. Attraction is based on looks. No matter how great your personality, humans are intrinsically drawn to things that are subjectively to the person considered beautiful. Art, architecture, sculptures, scenery and sunsets are all beautiful to different people for different reasons. It's the same with attraction to people. Your body is a walking advertisement for genetics to breed with. Your economic status, especially for men, is crucial to the type of mate you attract. No love is ever unconditional. While you can conquer a person's affection, most of the time the game is rigged. And your hormones and chemical reactions in the brain make the decision for you. You like someone. You start to fit that person into your idea of what that person should be. Maybe there's another person that gets along even better with you. But you're not attracted and that's why that person is just a friend. Most couples implode because of this. Pheromones in the brain dictates that they like each other. And it takes a while past the initial attraction to realize, well, this person isn't actually right for me.